Still a kid with a dream and a belief in himself. And for many times I was laughed at and not believed in, but you know what? Nothing external can defeat the internal. The only thing that can take someone down or break you down is internal. Nothing external is strong enough. It's just about making sure your internal dialogue and your internal belief in yourself is strong enough that it can withstand the external. The external is there. You've got to accept it. You've got to embrace it. You've got to understand it and be aware of it. But don't let it seep into your internal dialogue. I'm just a young kid. I'm a first year apprentice plumber on a building site. They're the guy that goes to make the tea. They're the guy that goes and gets the copper pipes from the storehouse and carries it up. It's the hard work that's not respected and not admired or not, so I was on them building sites cold and damp, and I was like looking around at the fully qualified people on the site and their postures not right, and that was not me. I knew I could do something better. I knew I had something in me. I just wasn't sure even what it was. Obviously I was training for the fight game, but no one in Ireland had made it in the fight game. The fight game, an Irishman in the UFC was literally, and I mean literally, laughed at. We were laughed at. I was laughed at when I said we were going to get to the UFC. Myself and my team were going to get to the UFC. Never mind get a win. Never mind even get a win in the UFC. Then win a belt. Then win the second belt. I've continually climbed, but I've just used all that fuel that I'm not supposed to do it, but I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna outwork everyone that says I cannot do it. And that's what I did, and that's how I rose up, and long may it continue. What got me to where I am and where I continue to go and where I will continue to go is an insane work ethic.
Yes.
And it's an insane work ethic that you can only put in that amount of work if you were doing something that you are passionate about. And that's what I have engaged my entire life's work in, things that I am passionate about. You cannot fully commit to something if you are not passionate about it. So you must look at your surroundings, at the things you are involved in, and ask yourself, are you truly passionate about these things? Are you truly want to put every ounce of your being into these things? And I am blessed, truly blessed by something. I am not sure what it is, but I am blessed that I was able to find my passion, the fight game, the whiskey game, the fashion game, the fitness game.
Yes.
These are my true passions, and I am going down these avenues that these avenues that the fight game has opened up for me. I'm going down them at 100 miles an hour with no brakes and full confidence in what lies ahead. And great things are happening. My sister, when I was a young kid at around 15 years of age, unsure where I was going, came to me with a book, The Secret, and preaching the law of attraction. And I was like, stop, get away from me, I'm only a young kid. I didn't care about that. I wanted to just go and play. I wasn't interested. I was almost laughing at it. But then she kept on me with it, and I eventually watched a movie on it and read some books on it, and then it started to resonate with me, like to keep positive and have belief in where you're going, and you're able to, you can almost visually create your entire world. No, not almost. You actually can.
Yes.
You can. And then I was like, I'm going to do that, and I will do that. And then that's when I began to practice it. I used to drive. My girlfriend used to drive to a food place in like a shopping mall in Ireland, and it was a very busy shopping mall. And I would practice like little parts of it. Like when we were driving into the shopping mall, the car park, I would always visualize that the car park space right at the front door would be empty for me, waiting for us to pull up. And sometimes I'd get it, and sometimes I wouldn't get it. But when I got it, I'd celebrate it like I just won my double world title. And I kept building on that, and I got better at it, and I became so damn good at it that I was able to go into bouts against undefeated fighters not defeated for over 10 years, or people with insane fighting legacies, and I was able to go in front of the world and tell the world, I'm gonna knock this man out with this exact shot at this exact time, and I done it back to back to back. In any success, it's hard work. That's it. Hard fucking work. You put it in, you believe in it, you will succeed. And that's it. I am living proof. If you want to look at a man who has clawed his way, fought with every ounce of his being to get to where he is, you're looking at him right here. So that's what I've done. Cream always rises to the top. So, if you just put true faith in that alone, you know that as long as you internally, your own self, is correct, and you're a lead, people, you must lead from the top. It filters down throughout the staff or throughout the people surrounding you or whatnot in your businesses. It filters from the top. The staff below or whatnot. I'm not going to say below like people are above each other. It's not like that. But I'm just saying, people that are looking at who's instructing them will be looking at how they carry themselves. They'll be looking at how the leader carries himself, the chairman, the CEO, the boss, whatever way you want to call it, and then they will respond to that. If the boss is late or if the boss is acting up, well, then everyone else thinks it's okay to act up. You know what I mean? So it comes down from the top, and that's why I'm almost like, regarding bad people that made bad energies or bad things, I don't dwell too much on that, because it almost just works itself out as long as internally you from the top are correct. And it filters down, and you will only see good from that. A guy that I've been speaking to recently was like, and even my own mother, right? I've been very proud of my mother recently, and actually, she actually, my mother was going through some things, and she came through it with flying colours, and she's like a new woman. And when I seen this, and my mother is at the top. My mother's the top, right? And that's that, seeing her correct. She wasn't telling me, Connor, do this, be right, get yourself right, do this, do that. Because that isn't, almost you're gonna say, wait, what? I'm okay. And you'll almost rebel against that. It's leading by example. And I saw my mother in the great light that she was in, and I was in awe of it. And I was like, I'm gonna do that. I want to get to that stage. I want to be in this position. And that motivated me to go and correct myself. So that's what I'm saying in that way. As long as you in your place are correct and on top of your game to what you need to do and where you're going, everything else around you will fall into shape, and everyone will take inspiration from that and become that in their own way. And then they will bring their own qualities to it, which will make the whole picture like a Picasso, like a Picasso painting. It's got to start with the mind. Your mind has to believe in chance, believe in the divine, believe in things to happen for you. You know what I mean? It's got to. Your mind must create these things before anything else, and then the rest of it, through work ethic, through fighting through the doubts and through the storm, so to speak. Maybe other people's doubts upon you, fighting through all of that, strengthening. Again, this strengthens your own mind, and then you will break through and succeed. You've got to see it. You've got to have it in. You've got to have that outlook.